All right, what's up, everybody? Hey, if you can create awesome ads, awesome landing pages, you can actually make a lot of money online. So today I'm going to do like a little mini course on how to create high converting ads and landing pages. Now, before we jump into this, I'm going to ask for a little bit of grace here. I'm not going to do a ton of editing on this. If you want to watch, if you want to learn how to do this, bear with me. It's going to be on the whiteboard, but it's going to be down to the nitty gritty. I promise we're going to show you how to really do this so you own the skill and so you can take wherever you're at in your agency and go to the next step. So high converting ads and a landing page. I'm going to break this down into two columns. The first one is emotion. I think people have all heard this if you've been studying marketing or whatever for a long time. People always parrot the thing. People buy based on emotion, but they justify based on logic. And so I'm going to break down a couple of formulas, and this is going to be a checklist, but these are going to be two formulas that you can learn so you can start doing this effectively, okay? So every marketing journey, everything that you do in the marketing space is always going to start with emotion, okay? And because emotion is so important, copywriters, I mean, people have created, full books. Shoot, there is one. You guys have seen these kind of fancy books. There's entire frameworks created just to teach you how to do this systematically. Now, I'm going to give you two, okay? For most of you, you're running ads on Facebook. You're doing digital stuff. And so these two frameworks are probably good enough to get started with, okay? PAS and then AIDA, also known as IDA, all right? Now, these formulas are specifically created so if you're creating an ad, you're creating an offer, whatever it is, you can tell the story or you can deliver the idea, the thought, the message within the proper context, within the proper delivery mechanism. So PAS, what does this stand for? The first is pain, the second is agitate, and then the next is solve, all right? Attention, interest, desire, action, that's IDA. So attention, interest, desire, action. Now, these are actually really interesting. I could spend an entire hour just on this one formula or just on this one formula, but I'm gonna walk you through this one first. This is what you're gonna see most, probably like on Facebook, you're gonna see a lot of this. You're gonna see a lot of this too, but this one, PAS, is probably the easiest one to do. So PAS, when you're painting a wall, in order for you to, let's say you had a white wall. If you painted the wall black, that would be a high amount of contrast. You would really be able to see the difference between those two things, that comparison. But let's say you're doing like a white wall and then you're going to ivory. That sounds like a fancy thing that people would do. You will not see that much of a difference, okay? And so the reason that you have P and A next to each other is because for your marketing message to really resonate, you have to immediately relate to it. You have to see it. You have to see the contrast, okay? So when we talk about pain and agitate the pain, it's really important that whoever it is that we're talking to, and every piece of good copy, every good ad, every good landing page always starts with two questions. One is, who is the person we're talking to? And two is, what do they currently know about what it is that we're doing? That's really important. But then when it comes to like, who's the person? People walk around in their daily lives with all sorts of problems. And those problems don't necessarily live in their heads in a very specific, concrete way. We don't define them that way, but we do know how annoying they are in our lives. So for example, if I'm an agency and a lot of agencies struggle getting clients. I mean, this is probably the biggest problem that agencies have. So if I wanted to use the PAS framework, I would say getting clients is incredibly difficult. You spend all sorts of money testing ads, you cold DM, you blah, 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 blah. So I mentioned first the pain. I called out the pain of getting clients, but then I gave examples of how that pain presents itself in your daily life. If I do these two things properly, then I earn the right to tell you what the solution is. And the solution is going to be my call to action. That's going to be go to get this lead magnet, or go down this sales funnel, whatever it is. So that's how the PAS framework works. It's really easy to do. Again, it's very, if you go any Facebook ad, pretty much they're going to be using that framework. Okay, let's go to IDA. Attention, interest, desire, action. Now, attention today is so incredibly difficult because there's so much noise. And that's probably where you need to start. The way you get attention is actually being different. Being different. So it's really good to take an inventory of what everyone else in your marketplace, because again, this starts with a single marketplace, what everybody else in your marketplace is doing, and then go against that. Don't do the same thing as everybody else. Right now, I see a lot of people, if you are doing something with AI, I see people talking about, Claude this, OpenClaw that, or, here's 5 prompts to do whatever, and they've got 5 prompts below. All of that stuff, because everybody is doing it, it's not a good way to get attention. You need something that cuts through and makes you very unique. And a really good exercise for doing this is go through and find all of your competition. Go into Ads Manager, into the Ads library, and even have Manus, or I think Claude, OpenClaw, whatever, I use Manus. Go in and do an inventory of what all of the people in your niche are doing, and put together you could call it like a noise report. That's a good name. A noise report of what everybody is doing, and then find a way to go against that, to go counter to that. All right? Now, so let's say you get a good hook, you're good to go. How do you get interest? It's a really good question. My favorite way to get interest is from my boy Gary Bencivenga. And he says B plus C equals I. I know we got a lot of acronyms going on here, but benefit plus curiosity equals interest. Benefit plus curiosity equals interest. So actually, a lot of times in the attention part of the equation, we're calling out a benefit, right? So for example, I could say how to get 15 clients per month using these proven ads, right? Well, that would be a benefit, but how do I create curiosity without learning ads, without learning how to run Facebook ads? It's like, wait a minute. In fact, the C, one of the operative ways to get curiosity is to use the word without. Okay? How to get 15 to 30 high ticket clients on your calendar every single month without learning how to run Facebook ads. Now, that's different. Now, I'm interested. All right? And then desire is about future pacing towards like just making whatever you have, making this promise, that making it more believable. In fact, when we look at desire is a big product of these 4 common objections that we're going to go over here in just a second, of satisfying the objections that somebody has. As long as they believe and they want that, they're going to increase their desire. And then A is just call to action. Like, what do you want them to do? Okay? So these formulas exist. And by the way, you can go do a deep dive on direct response copywriting formulas, and you're going to find a bunch of them. I taught you 2 of the core formulas, because if you're running ads on Facebook or you're doing landing pages, pretty much this is going to handle 80% of them, right? This is the Pareto's principle, all right? So now these formulas are all, again, there to help us get what? Emotion. But as soon as we have this emotion, we have another subtle enemy in the room, which is objections, okay? So there are 4 common objections for logic. 4 things that are going to come out in your ad, in your sales funnel. As the person reads, they're going to say, what about this? What about that? They're going to say those things. And as long as your ad addresses those as you go, you're going to be okay. All right. I decided to split this into 2 because I thought that writing this entire thing would be really boring for you to watch. So the 4 common objections, I'm going to walk you through each of them. But understand, once again, we started with the emotion and then we had the logic. So the framework, so PAS, AIDA, those are there to guide you through the emotional journey. But at the same time, you're going through an emotional journey, you have logic popping up in the background that needs to be satisfied in order for your sales funnel, your ads to convert. So here's what we're going to do. The 4 common objections, I'll run you through what those 4 common objections are real quick. Is this real credible? Will this work for me? Relevance. Can I trust this? And is this worth the risk? Those are the 4 the 4 example, or the 4 objections. Now, and they're in that order generally. Sometimes they can change a little bit. But let's go ahead and look at an example. So what I've done, I wanted to kind of bring this to life a little bit, not just give you the steps. So I went ahead and I created a hook, right? Turn one ad into 15 pre-sold demo calls without knowing Facebook ads. Now, this is a pretty good hook. Number 1, because you want pre-sold, that's good. Or in other words, you want people showing up to your calls who you don't have to really, who are already interested, basically. That's an easier sales call. Demo calls, that's what agencies do, a lot of demo calls. And then without knowing Facebook ads. And it's like, well, wait a minute. How can I run ads without knowing Facebook ads? So right there, I got my B plus C equals I. I got a pretty good hook right there. So I'm going to go through what the bones of an ad might look like for this. So that's my promise. That's my hook. Now, immediately I make that kind of claim, I have to start answering questions, satisfying questions, or else I lose. So the first one is, that's a big promise, back it up. So is this credible? That's the first thing that's going to pop up. There's a lot of ways you can do this. You can post data, whatever. I like case studies. I mean, if you got case studies, those are super easy. So turn one ad into 15 pre-sold demo calls without knowing Facebook ads. That's exactly what Ziad did. In fact, before Ziad worked in the agency game for 2 years, only getting to $500 a month. And once he started doing this, he got to $10,000 a month, monthly recurring revenue in just 2 months, right? That's a true case study. That's really what happened. I would probably word it better. I'm just kind of spitballing to you right now. But Ziad got to $10,000 monthly recurring revenue in just 2 months doing this. All right, it's like, okay, cool. That could be my creative. I could have a video of Ziad. And that is me backing up my proof. That's me giving it credibility. Okay. Now the thing is, okay, like I believe you that can be true. That's great for Ziad. But what about me? Will this work for me? Is this relevant to me? If you work with local businesses, that is the qualifier. It's like, listen, this isn't a great fit if you're doing e-commerce or, drop shipping or whatever. But if you help local businesses grow their customer base, this will work for you, right? That's all you have to say. You say, is this relevant? Now they're listening to you. All right. Now, then the next thing is, okay, it works for me. I believe you. It works for me. Can I trust you? Well, then this is where you can do a lot of different things. But I've helped over 400 agencies install a proven agency model in just 4 weeks who never thought that they could. I simply take them through what I did in my own agency, show them how it works, and then help them install this EM12 client acquisition system. I'm like, whoa, 400 agencies, and maybe I could have, if it was a landing page, I would have proof of that. I would have like a screenshot or something. Okay? Can I trust this? I've helped over 400 agencies. Then the last thing is this worth the risk? Now, this is where if you're a beginner, you're going to want to throw out guarantees. And guarantees seem like a good idea. Here's the problem with guarantees. Guarantees get you the worst prospects ever. You're building a business. You're building a real business doing this. And if I guarantee you something, all your money back, whatever, you're not really in this for the real reason. However, if my guarantee, the way I like to do guarantees is I will work with you until you get the result that I promise you. I've done this. I've done this a lot of times, and I will help you do it. But is it reasonable to think that you're going to get it on the first time through? Or is it reasonable to say, why don't we just work together? If you got it on the 4th month, would you be unhappy? No, you just want the result. And some people have been doing this longer, whatever. Everybody's different. The reason that you don't want to do guarantees like that is, the reason you don't want to do like result guarantees is because number one, I think it's actually illegal. Number two, then you get the people who don't actually want to who are not a good fit for what it takes to be in business at all, let alone online. So whatever you do, you just want to find ways to reverse the risk. The reason I explained the guarantee, like we'll give you your money back guarantee, is number one, that's kind of become a red flag because everybody thought that Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers was all about just guaranteeing everything. That's a terrible way to do business. But I will work with you until you get the result. That to me is a more reasonable and a more real opportunity. So there you go, guys. Those are the 4 common objections. So I want you to think about this in a dynamic way. I'm going to give you an example. Now, let's say, because the reason I want to give you this example is because when you're trying to make both the emotional side and the checklist on the logical side work together, it feels like, it feels very rigid. I have to do this now. No, I have to do that. It's not like that. It's more like this. Imagine you have a bridge that is going over like, I don't know, a ravine, right? And it's all dark. You can't see anything, but you want to get to the other side. That's your promise. She's like, I want to get to the other side. As you're going through, that's the emotional driver, right? As you're going through, you get somebody to hold your hand, right? That's you can trust me. You look down and there's a net underneath you. That's the safety. And as you take every step, you're getting more and more confidence to go on, right? And so it's a dynamic thing. You have to have the emotion, but you also have to make sure that you have the net there, that you're holding out the hand for the person, that as soon as they take a step, a little bit of light starts to get in their pathway so they can see where they're stepping. This is an example, a metaphor on how these two things work together. You need the emotion and you need the logic. I hope this has been a helpful mini course in how to do this. I will say this, there are 2 types of people that watch these videos. One are people who want to learn and just do this themselves. People like that are fantastic. Take this, throw it in Notebook LM, and see if you can come up with some prompts or some checklists or something to help what you're doing right now get that much better. I hope that helps. Then there's the other people who are like, listen, I just want this done. I don't want to wait a year or 2 years figuring this out by myself. If you're trying to build an agency and you really want to jump ahead and just follow a proven plan, I'd say check out myagencymvp.com. We've helped over 400 agencies. It's a good way to not only learn the skills that you need in order to do this, skills like this, but also get access to tools that do these things for you automatically. Okay, myagencymvp.com. I hope this has been helpful. We'll see you later.